The UK housing market is not doing one simple thing. It is not crashing everywhere. It is not rising everywhere. The more honest story is that the market has split. In the latest official data, the average UK house price was roughly flat year on year, had about £268,000. But beneath that flat national number, the story changes. England was slightly down, while Wales and Scotland were up. Northern Ireland was much stronger on its quarterly series. So if someone tells you simply, house prices are falling, or house prices are rising, the first question should be, where? What type of property are we talking about, and what are we comparing it with? A single headline just isn't enough anymore. That matters because buyers and sellers do not live in a national average. They live in a town, a borough, a postcode. A flat in a high-price urban market can behave very differently from a terraced house in a lower-cost regional market. And this is exactly what the latest evidence shows. Some places are seeing unusual falls, other places are still moving up. The point of this video is not to predict the market. It is to show how to read the split without hype or generalization. Here is the simple framework. To understand the current UK market, look through 4 filters. First, geography. Second, property type. Flats and houses are not behaving the same way. The divide is becoming quite significant. Third, affordability. How stretched are prices against local incomes and the actual cost of borrowing? And fourth, market depth. Is the data based on enough transactions, or could a few unusual sales be moving the average? This is why the headline can look calm, while local markets feel very different. The national average hides the real story. In England, official data showed falls in places such as Chichester, Hastings, Ipswich and the Isle of Wight. We also saw declines in North Devon, Brighton and Hove, Cornwall and Bristol. It's a broad range of locations. London is part of the story, but not all of it. Some boroughs were down sharply, while others were flat or even rising. The same pattern appears outside England. Wales was positive overall, but Monmouthshire and Pembrokeshire were slightly down. Scotland was also positive overall, but Aberdeen, Angus, East Lothian and Perth and Kinross were notably weaker. Northern Ireland looked stronger overall, but even there the point is still local variation, not a single national rule. The useful story is not London versus everywhere else. It is that every nation contains stronger and weaker local markets. On the other side, some areas were still strengthening. In England, examples included Hartlepool, Halton and Pendle. We also saw strength in Redcar and Cleveland, Harlow, Peterborough, Preston and Newark and Sherwood. Wales had broad strength, with areas such as Ceredigion, Rhondda, Cynon-Taf, Bridgend and Newport trending up. Scotland had strong readings in places such as Inverclyde, West Dunbartonshire, Sanoswama, Starnmakenbumbarney, South Ayrshire and Renfrewshire. And Northern Ireland remained the strongest UK nation on the latest official snapshot, with broad local resilience. So what explains the split? The first divider is affordability. High-price areas are more exposed when borrowing costs rise. Buyers in these areas need larger deposits and larger mortgages. That makes them far more sensitive to interest rate changes. London remains far more stretched against earnings than the North East, which has much more affordability headroom. Northern Ireland also has a lower affordability burden than England, which helps explain why it continues to find buyers. The second divider is property type. Flats are currently one of the weakest parts of the UK housing market. In England, flats and maisonettes were down sharply in the latest data, reflecting a shift in buyer demand. In contrast, detached and semi-detached homes held up much better, often remaining positive in many regions. Wales and Scotland show a similar divide. Houses are proving more resilient while flats are under pressure. This means a flat-heavy local market can look weak even when houses in the same wider area are still doing well. Tower Hamlets is a good example of this. We see a flat-heavy correction where overall prices and first-time buyer prices fell. But even while purchase prices were correcting, rents still rose. It's a complex, multi-layered local story. Hastings is a non-London example of softness in the southeast, while Monmouthshire shows weakness inside a stronger Welsh market. Aberdeen also shows softness inside an otherwise positive Scottish market. These examples show why local details matter. None of these examples proves one simple cause, but together they show the same pattern of local fragmentation. The stronger markets also have different stories. Hartlepool looks like a classic, affordable catch-up market. Harlow looks more rent-supported, while Ceredigion represents the broader strength we're seeing across much of Wales. Inverclyde shows Scottish catch-up, and areas like Mid-Ulster show the Northern Ireland version of that affordability headroom. These markets share a common thread: lower absolute prices and more headroom for buyers than much of southern England. The important caveat is that not every eye-catching fall is equally meaningful. Data quality can vary significantly. Some areas have thin transaction volumes, and some averages are moved simply by the specific mix of homes sold. Recent data can also be revised, so the honest conclusion is not a simple boom or a simple crash, it is fragmentation. The market is fragmenting by affordability, property type, local demand, and market depth. That's the real story. Before you buy or sell, do not rely on the national headline. Check the local sold prices and the property type first. Look at the affordability picture and whether the trend is backed by enough transactions to be truly meaningful. That is the difference between following a headline and making a sound local decision. Thanks for watching.